of its own. We're all about our people, processes, and technology.
BASE is one of the highly rated universities in Nigeria in terms of product quality standards.
We don't just produce graduates, but groom people into employers of labor.
And it has made us understand that learning is all about three things. We learn, we unlearn, and we relearn.
BASE University Hospital offers a range of specialized services equipped with the latest technology, manned by a team of trusted professionals. And now, our vision extends beyond our walls with the Baba Ahmed University in Kano following our lead. Join us at BASE University and invest in your future today.
BASE University is the institution that you will get the best value for money education in Nigeria.
BASE University. Learn to live.
On Global TV News Express, federal government pledges commitments to financial inclusion, moves to capture 30 million unbanked Nigerians. On the foreign scene, Trump recounts shooting experience, accepts Republican Party nomination. In sports, Napoli, PSG in talks after Osimhen agreement. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Express on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I'm Iyi Agumofwebe. We'd like to remind you that Global Television is now on DSTV channel 365. Let's begin by telling you Nigeria's Vice President Kashif Shettima says the federal government is committed to bringing over 30 million unbanked Nigerians into the formal financial system. A statement issued by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Communications, Stanley Okocha, noted that Shettima stated this during a high-level policy dialogue between the Nigerian government and private sector stakeholders held in Washington, D.C., United States. In line with the commitment, the Vice President said there is an urgent need for financial innovation to drive Nigeria's economic and financial inclusion agenda. Global Television has gone live on DSTV channel 365, a milestone seen by both industry experts and the general public as a game changer in television broadcasting. Sharon Ajay has details.
Global Morning, the media outfit's news and current affairs breakfast program, Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Media Outfits, Dr. Ibrahim Biu, said against all odds, the dream of achieving DSTV channel allocation has finally become a reality. He appreciated management and members of staff for their dedication and resilience.
Also to thank my entire staff. You have done a very good job. It has not been day and night. We have been battling, making sure that we achieve this goal. The commitment of my entire management staff, the entire staff from the cameraman to the technical people at Global Television has not been easy. It has been a taxful job. Your commitment, your zeal, your day and night activities. I really appreciate you people for reaching this point of success at the Global Television.
She, however, pledged Global Television's unrelenting commitment to excellence in broadcasting.
So far, I just achieved 30%.
So you have a longer way to go.
I just achieved 30% by being on DSTV. I want us to go further than that. I want our studio to change. I want our professional people to be trained. I have a lot of dreams to achieve in the next 1 or 2 years to come.
Iyana J reporting for Global Television.
Thank you, Sharon. President Bola Tinubu has approved 70,000 naira minimum wage for Nigerian workers, promising to review the national minimum wage every 3 years. Mohammed Idris, Minister of Information, said the president made the announcement at the meeting with leaders of the organized labor. Before the meeting, labor leaders had insisted on 250,000 naira minimum wage. Minister of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs, Zephaniah Gisalo, has stated that the Supreme Court ruling on local government autonomy will significantly enhance the socio-economic development of the nation by empowering the grassroots. Speaking in Abuja at the annual retreat on performance management system organized by the ministry, Gisalo emphasized the positive impact of the ruling. The 7-justice panel of the Apex Court, in a judgment delivered by Justice Emmanuel Agim, declared that the 774 local government councils in the country should independently manage their funds. President Bola Tinubu has approved the appointment of Didi Esther Walsin Jack as the head of Civil Service of the Federation with effect from August 14, 2024. A statement by presidential spokesman Ajiru Ngalale, Walsin Jack was appointed as Federal Permanent Secretary in 2017 and has served in several ministries. The new appointee will take over from the incumbent head of Civil Service of the Federation, Olashade Yemi Eso, who is due to retire on August 13, 2024. Members of the House of Representatives have pledged to give up 50% of their salaries for 6 months to address the hunger across the country. During the session presided over by Speaker Tajuddin Abbas, Deputy Speaker Benjamin Kalu amended the motion urging his colleagues to sacrifice 50% of their salaries. He made this plea when it was his turn to speak, seeking their support for his gesture. Minister of Education Professor Tahir Mamman has waived the 18-year benchmark for admission into tertiary institutions in the country. At an ongoing policy meeting organized by the Joint Admission Matriculations Board (JAMB) in Abuja, Mamman had announced that only applicants who were 18 years and older were eligible for admission. This had sparked a controversy as stakeholders across tertiary institutions in the country kicked against what the minister had said. While reacting to the grumblings from the participants, he insisted that the law required that their children should be in school at 18 years, having amended or attended 6 years in primary school, 3 years in junior secondary school, and 3 years in senior secondary school. In the meantime, Minister of Education Professor Tahir Mamman says a new curriculum would be introduced for secondary schools nationwide by September 2024. The minister made this known at the ongoing 2024 Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board policy meeting in Abuja. Mamman stated that work has already begun to ensure that a new curriculum is introduced for secondary schools by the end of September this year. The Senate has proposed a bill for the establishment of the Local Government Independent Electoral Commission. This was coming about a week after the Supreme Court had ordered the federal government to stop paying allocations for local governments to state governments from the Federation accounts. The federal government, through the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Lateef Fagbemi, had filed a suit at the Supreme Court against governors of all 36 states. President Bola Tinubu has launched the Nigerian Education Law Fund in the Council Chamber of the State House. The president also expressed determination to ensure the success of the fund and the fulfillment of the dream for higher education by indigent Nigerian students. Ikelemo Okere has more.
President Tinubu commended the chairman of the board, Jimovia, and the managing director, Akitunde Sawyer, for their efforts in driving the critical agency.
Earlier said by me, without education, you cannot even successfully conquer poverty, insecurity, and abuse in the society. Education is that light at the end of the tunnel.
The managing director, Nigerian Education Loan Fund, Akintunde Sawyer, says the portal has received over 110,000 loan applications so far.
One of the key features when the bill was sent back to the House and for reenactment was that you very graciously included an upkeep element to this. Before, in the previous bill, sir, it was just the fees. Now we're going to be putting real money into the pockets of students and not just saying we're paying your fees, but we know they have other expenses.
The board chairman, the Nigerian Education Loan, Jimovia, says the students' loan scheme seeks to provide financial support, including school fees and stipends, to eligible students nationwide. He further stated that the disbursement of loan to successful applicants during its inaugural meeting in Abuja last month.
The very special importance of education in growing their youth, in encouraging their youth, and for the youth to spearhead the development of their various countries' activities. Of course, the World Bank is there also to play its own role.
Over 1.2 million students are expected to benefit from the first phase of the program. Kike Lomo Okeri, Global Television News.
Niger State Governor Mohammed Bago has assured Nigerians that Niger youth will not be part of a planned nationwide strike set for August 1st to 10th, 2024. A widely publicized youth protest has been planned to drive home the current hunger and economic hardship facing the country. Bago made this known during a town hall meeting in Minna, the state capital, where he averred that the youths in the state were peaceful and would not be drawn into any national protest. Nigeria's leading opposition party, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, says it has noted the unprecedented hardship and impoverishment of majority of Nigerians, which they said resulted from the mismanagement of the nation's economy by the All Progressives Congress APC-led federal government. The People's Democratic Party Governors Forum, arising from its two-day meeting in Enugu, also raised concern that the minimum wage negotiations are becoming unduly protracted, appealing for restraint in the discussions between organized labor and the government. You're watching News Express, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. We're on DSTV, channel 365, and StarTimes, channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms using @Global TV NG and other handles as you now see on your screen. When the news returns, former U.S. President Donald Trump recounts shooting experience, accepts Republican Party nomination. We'll bring you details of that story and more after this short break. Please stay with us.
Is the desk on Global Television.
Nigeria, come join Anthony Momodu on television's most compelling and facts-finding talk live show.
We are definitely. Can we not say that because
that this country gets it right?
It's the Dex on Global Television, where we analyze and dissect storming issues and commentaries in the world's biggest black nation, Nigeria.
Who is being held accountable for this money?
The eyes have it.
We stay and decide policies and reforms on the Dex. Tune in Mondays to Fridays, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. on Global Television. Let's stay on the Dex.
Global Morning is your ultimate destination for engaging political and economic matters. I am Uyi Agmofwebe.
And don't forget to include social discussions. Tune in every weekdays from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. I am Queen Agaba.
For insightful breakfast ideas, business summaries, sports highlights, international and local news perspective, I am Anthony Momodu.
Don't miss the in-depth analysis of current and political issues by the Global Morning team and experts. I am Jumai Manson.
Catch Global Morning here on Global Television. Getting on the action. I am Edikan Michael.
We are
the Global Morning team.
For an insightful idea that takes the center stage and the conversation that gets beyond the headlines, to explore the lasting impact of political decisions, Big Talk got you covered. From policy debates to geopolitical insights, from thought-provoking discussions to actionable insight.
What is the real responsibility of government?
Big Talk delves deep into the heart of the matter. Join us weekdays on Global Televisions from 6:30 p.m. for a reverting journey into the heart of politics, where we dissect issues shaping our society.
This is Global Television, bringing you live broadcasts of News Express with Uyi Agmofwebe. We appreciate your time with us. And let's take you to the foreign scene, where former United States President Donald Trump has been nominated to be the candidate of the Republican Party in the November 5 presidential election. Trump began his speech by recounting his experience of last Saturday's attack. Trump also promised to be president for all Americans if elected, stating his acceptance of his nomination.
My hand was covered with blood, just absolutely blood all over the place. I immediately knew it was very serious, that we were under attack, and in one movement proceeded to drop to the ground. I am running to be president for all of America, not half of America, because there is no victory in winning for half of America. So tonight, with faith and devotion, I proudly accept your nomination for President of the United States.
Although his speech contained sharp criticism of Joe Biden's policies on several fronts, Trump made just one direct mention of his rival's name, calling him one of the worst presidents in history, as he frequently does at once. Meantime, President Joe Biden now faces new questions over his candidacy in the November election, with his campaign events currently on pause due to a COVID-19 infection. The top two Democrats in the U.S. Congress, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, are both reported to have met him individually to express concerns over his bid for the White House. Not fewer than 16 persons have been killed in a fire outbreak at a shopping mall in the southwestern Chinese city of Zhejiang. Firefighters and rescuers responded to the fire call shortly after 6 p.m. at the 14-story commercial building and pulled 75 people to safety. A passenger train has derailed in India's northern state of Uttar Pradesh, and medics who had been dispatched to the site, as according to a local medical office, with footage of the accident showing several overturned carriages. The Kadia Dibao Express derailed in Gonda district near the Hindu holy city of Ayodhya at around 2:30 p.m. local time. 7 people have died, including 3 young children and a teenager, in a fire that broke out in the early hours of yesterday in the southern French city of Nice. The local prosecutor said officials were investigating the blaze as a potential arson attack. The mayor of Nice said they had images that clearly showed the fire had been caused by petrol poured into a stairwell by hooded people during the night. Flames engulfed the upper floors of an apartment block in the mountains area of Nice, close to the city's airport. A Milan court has ordered a journalist to pay Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni damages of €5,000 for making fun of her in a social media post. The journalist, Giulia Cortes, was also given a suspended fine of €1,200 for a jibe on X in October 2021 about Meloni's height that was defined as body shaming. In a business, the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has sold dollars to eligible Bureau de Change operators at a rate of 1,450 naira to the dollar. This was disclosed in a statement signed by the acting director of the Trade and Exchange Department of the Apex Bank, Amadu Madi. This comes days after the Apex Bank had sold $123 million to authorized dealers. Major Energies Marketers Association of Nigeria says the landing cost of premium motor spirits, also known as petrol, was 1,170 naira a litre as of July 16, 2024. The association stated that the landing cost of diesel was 1,157 naira a litre, while that of aviation fuel was 1,127 naira a litre. The federal government has stated that it will ensure that Nigerian businesses maximize the benefits of the African Continental Free Trade Area. President Bola Tinubu disclosed this while speaking at the launching ceremony of the Guided Trade Initiative under the African Continental Free Trade Area in Lagos. According to the president, who was represented at the event by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, African Continental Free Trade Agreement has the potential to transform the continent's economic landscape. And in sports, Napoli and Paris Saint-Germain PSG have entered into negotiations for the transfer of Nigeria striker Victor Osimhen after the player reportedly agreed to personal terms with the French giants. Napoli are reportedly now prepared to negotiate a fee lower than Osimhen's 130 million euros clause as they struggle to accommodate his 10 million euros per season salary agreed in December. There are claims that Osimhen has agreed basic personal terms with PSG, paving the way for talks between the two clubs to intensify. This development follows the arrival of Osimhen's agent, Roberto Calenda, in Paris. The House of Representatives has announced the donation of 100 million naira to Nigeria's 2024 Olympics and Paralympics contingent to the forthcoming games built for Paris, France. Deputy Speaker of the House, Benjamin Kalu, who presided over plenary in the absence of Speaker Tajuddin Abbas, disclosed this when the House hosted Minister of Sports Development, John Eno, was in the Green Chamber to unveil Team Nigeria's Olympics and Paralympics kits. As we end the News Express on Global Television, here's a quick look at some of our major stories. The federal government has pledged commitments to financial inclusion with plans to recapture and 30 million unbanked Nigerians. On the foreign scene, former U.S. President Donald Trump has recounted his shooting experience, delivering an acceptance speech of his nomination at the Republican Party. And finally, in sports, we told you Napoli PSG are in talks after Osimhen agreements. And that's it on News Express, and it came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We are on DSTV, channel 365, and Star Times, channel 276. And you follow us across all social media platforms using our Google TV and G and other handles as you now see on your screen. I'm Uyi Agmofwe. We're appreciating you for the time you spent with us here on the news. Coming up at the top of the hour is Big Talk.
And well-investigated stories. Look no further than Global Television. Dive deep into issues with our in-depth analysis and stay informed with our educational and interesting programs. Join us on